So, Inside Out 2 is the sequel to 2015's Inside Out, to which, as you all know if you've been following me since 2015, Inside Out was my favorite film of that year. In the events of Inside Out 2, we once again follow Riley along with the emotions in her head: joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust. Ever since the events of Inside Out, things have been running crystal clear, smooth as a whistle, until one day when Riley wakes up as a 13-year-old, and as y'all can imagine, in a 13-year-old's life, what is something that is scary as heck? Puberty. And with puberty comes with a whole range of new emotions, which include anxiety, envy, embarrassment, and boredom, as they say in the film. And because of this, guys, let's just say that we're in for one heck of an adventure. Before I continue on with today's review, I just wanted to say welcome to my channel, everybody. For those of you who are coming by my channel for the very first time, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future video, whether it's a future review, a future reaction, whatever future video is coming your way, and join me on my journey to 10K subscribers and beyond, because let you guys want to say this, you are not going to want to miss the cool shit I have coming your way. And also, for those of you who are coming back to my channel, welcome back. I'm so freaking out to see your faces once again. Alrighty guys, so let's get into Inside Out 2.
Excellent!
Before I continue with my review of Inside Out 2, I owe you all a massive apology. My original plan for this review was that I was originally to get this review up either by Wednesday night or Thursday morning at the very latest, but unfortunately, the night of the screening for Inside Out 2, I got hit with a sickness that put him out of commission for a couple of days, and because of that, I had to keep delaying and delay and delay. I sincerely apologize if this review got up later than usual, but thank you all so much for your patience. But anyways, let's get back to this thing finally. For those of you who've been following me since the 15 will all know that I absolutely adore the first Inside Out. It's literally one of my favorite films from Pixar. It might be my favorite film from Pixar, but it was my favorite film of 2015. It has become one of my favorite films, period. Like, my love and my adoration for Inside Out ever since I saw this movie. Holy crap, 2015, it's almost been 10 years since the first Inside Out. I feel freaking old as it is. Just hearing that they were trying to conceive of a sequel for Inside Out, I just kept on saying, no, 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 guys. Inside Out was such a masterpiece of a film that it doesn't need an expansion, even though was the concept of this movie clear in my head? Absolutely, but at the same time, I didn't want a sequel to ruin the legacy that the first movie set up. Walking into my screening of Inside Out 2, I had really no expectations of this movie, as all I wanted out of this movie was a good sequel to one of my favorite Pixar films. And guys, let me tell you right now, I am so happy and so joyful to say that I loved Inside Out 2. And for me, guys, as a person that did not want a sequel to that first film, this movie was not only a surprise for me, to say the least, but my god, I'm just happy to say that Inside Out 2 is a terrific sequel, to say the least. As y'all can imagine, the thing I must talk about is the gorgeous animation. I'm saying nothing new when it comes to animation, but I guess I might as well spout out what I've been saying ever since, like, what? I can't even remember now, but still nonetheless, the animation in Inside Out 2 is absolutely freaking beautiful. The photoreal animation just seems to get better and better and better with each succeeding Pixar film. I mean, just some of the close-ups on characters' faces and the detail of not only the clothes, the fabric, some of the items in this movie's world. I mean, I was looking at just the ice and the ice skating and thinking, God dang, that looked good. The animation in Inside Out 2 should come as no surprise, as it being absolutely breathtaking, and the colors just bounce and they're so vibrant that they really take a whole new life of their own. It looks terrific. This should come as no surprise to you all, really. Also, the voice cast is once again superb. Whether it's Amy Poehler as Joy, Lewis Black as anger, who once again has great sequences. Also, Phyllis Smith, I think that's her name, as sadness. But one thing I must address is that Bill Hader and Mindy Kaling did not reprise the roles as Fear and Disgust. Those are now being played by Tony Hale. And I can't remember the other girls, and I'll put her name right here. But here's the thing. At first, you may notice that it's not Bill Hader or Mindy Kaling, but that's very quickly wading off as Tony Hale and the new voices, they do great jobs at replacing those original voices because, man, Tony Hale is great as Fear, and the new voice for Disgust is also terrific. But also not to mention as well, when it comes down to the new voice cast, in particular, Maya Hawke as Anxiety. Oh my god, she is incredible in this movie, and as a person that, by the way, is filled with anxiety every day, I absolutely felt that emotion to no end. Paul Walter Hauser's voice is embarrassment, and even though he doesn't have a lot of lines this movie, he has some he has some really good moments in this movie. Quick shout out to Yang Yi, who voices a character in this movie, and he is easily one of my favorite sequences of the entire film that had me gut busting. I was laughing so hard. One of the things that I absolutely loved about Inside Out was how relatable that film is. And I rewatched the film before I saw the second Inside Out, and there were actually new things that I picked up on that I cannot believe I didn't pick on. And what? The last 7 times I rewatched Inside Out. Yeah, I've watched that film many, many times, but still nonetheless, guys. Like its predecessor, Inside Out 2 is so relatable that it is scary how relatable it is. Watching the events of this teenage Riley dealing with these new range of emotions that she cannot control, going into a new high school, wanting to make new friends, wanting to push yourself to be the best, the best, the best, and not trying to do those bad things even though we know those certain things are bad. This movie shows that A, puberty is scary, but also puberty is a bitch to deal with. One particular thing that I really appreciate about Inside Out 2 was that even though this movie does have some familiar story beats that first film, what this movie does with those story beats, I found to be really creative, refreshing, and a very fun way to explore what Riley is going through since that she is now a teenager. There are some bits, guys, where no joke, did I tear up? Yeah, I did. Guys, there was one minute in particular where, man, I did cry. Like, this bit really, really got me. And again, as a person that still deals with anxiety, oh my god, this bit really hit me hard. But if there's one thing in particular that I absolutely love about Inside Out 2, amongst the plethora of things I love about this movie, and that is this. And I can guarantee that you have heard pretty much every reviewer saying this, so I'm only echoing what they're saying because, well, I agree with them. And that is that Inside Out 2 can pretty much be enjoyed by anybody. Whether you're a little kid, a teenager, an adult, or an elderly person, Inside Out 2 has something to enjoy for everybody. One more thing that I must talk about is the film's musical score. Michael Giacchino did not come back to compose a score, and that was another thing that I was very scared about because Michael Giacchino's score for the first Inside Out is one of my favorite scores. Like, it's a score that still gets me to this day. This new person coming in had a lot of shoes to fill in. You know what? Let me get their name really quick because I feel really disrespectful in not knowing this person's name. Andrea Datzman did a incredible job, not only bringing her own thing, but again, expanding what Michael Giacchino did from the first Inside Out. A great score.
Well, that's just fucking great!
Is Inside Out 2 better than the first Inside Out? No, it is not, but really, did it need to be better than the first Inside Out? No, it absolutely didn't. I guess the only thing I can really think of is that, sure, it uses some familiar story beats in that first movie, but that's about it.
Here we go.
So overall, as a person who adores the first film and who did not want a second film, Inside Out 2 is not only a terrific sequel, but an excellent expansion of that first film. Inside Out 2 just left me feeling so much joy, and man, I love this film. Is Inside Out 2 one of my favorite films of the year? Absolutely. All in all, I'm gonna give Inside Out 2 a 5 out of 5. Inside Out 2 not only surprised me in more ways than one, but my God, I freaking love this movie. I hope you all enjoyed my review of Inside Out 2. If so, press the like button, or if you dislike the review, hit the dislike button. If you guys want to see my previous 2 reviews, please click right there or right there. And of course, until my next review or video goes live, I will see you all next time.